So Angela and I are all loaded up. We got all our gear in the back of the car. Just dropped off a back in the garage hat at the post office. Pretty sure the woman in front of me was mailing dildos. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway, we're on our way down to North Carolina tonight. It's like 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Should be down there, I'm thinking between 6, 7 o'clock. My sister and I just got to Archdale, North Carolina, stopping for a little dinner, and we're about ready to welcome a special guest to the video. Welcome, NC Stoney.
Hey, man.
Nice to meet you.
All right, so just got here to the Comfort Suites in Salisbury, North Carolina. Great dinner tonight with NC Stoney. Definitely a surprise. We literally set that up like less than an hour before we met up. Ags is about ready to turn her couch into a bed.
This looks comfortable.
It looks great. We're on a mission to go find some ice. Need some drinks, gotta stay hydrated for tomorrow. I want to take in plenty of fluids tonight because I don't want to get dehydrated tomorrow. It's probably weird to be drinking Jack Daniels by wearing a Woodford Reserve t-shirt, but they're owned by Brown-Forman. It's all good. These videos aren't going to edit themselves. I mean, I know I'm wearing a beanie, but we could not ask for better weather today. It's going to be awesome. The gate's still closed, so that means we arrived just a little bit early. Ags, you stoked to do some riding today?
I'm nervous.
Nervous?
I'm nervous.
We're here to learn and have fun.
I know, but it feels like my first day of like basketball camp or something. I don't know if people are going to like me, and I might suck, and they really won't like me.
Nobody's braking hard enough. You want to get your shoulders up a little, okay? Let me get my helmet. I'll catch you in like 2 laps.
All right, you better ride bitch. Slide back.
Have fun out there?
Yeah, it was good. Did you get me going up wide open? I got the air time.
She was like, boom, right into the tree.
I got the air today,
I was
so that was
right
good.
behind you too. You were like this, and then you went and straight up the bank right into the tree.
That was day one.
Bloodshot.
Huh?
My eyes are bloodshot.
Why?
Dirt.
Yeah, so we finished up day one at CornerSpin. We're getting ready to go meet everybody out for dinner. Had an awesome time. Realized I still do have a little bit of skill left, despite the fact I haven't raced on a road course in probably 10 years. Also, despite the fact that I stayed so well hydrated last night, got a little bit of a leg cramp today. I don't know why. Had a good time out at dinner last night with everyone, but we woke up to frost on the ground today, so it's gonna be a little cold starting out. Alright guys, so as I was editing this video, I realized we didn't really give it any context. I didn't say really what it was about or what we were doing down there. Anyway, Angela and I went down to North Carolina for a 2-day motorcycle training course. They call it road racing in the dirt. That's what CornerSpin's all about. But even though they call it that, it's also very applicable to street riding, even dirt bike riding. But we're riding small displacement dirt bikes in the dirt on a flat track, or at least kind of like a flat track, on street tires. So it's really limited traction. It was a whole lot of fun and not a whole lot of risk in order to work on our skills. You want to tell them a little bit about how the training class was set up?
Yeah, so I kind of felt like I was back at camp. We would kind of get together, and it was pretty much a small group, and the instructors would get us together, kind of talk to us about some concepts that they wanted us to practice. They'd already have some drills set up for us. We'd hop on the bikes and get after it, and we're getting yelled at. Sometimes we're out there with sticks poking at us, making us keep our elbows up or whatever the instruction was for that particular drill.
The other cool part about it is the age range. I think the youngest guy there was like 17 and the oldest was maybe in his 50s. We might have been a little bit older than that, but it's really open for any age range, and I think everybody had a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, and there was a lot, because we're all on the same bike, like Mario said earlier, so, you know, all of us can go about the same speed, so it really comes down to who has more skill, and the older guys would get a little offended when I would pass them a few times.
So what do you feel like, what's one thing you worked on during the weekend that you feel like got a whole lot better from the time you started until the time you left?
I really liked when he taught us about, the instructors taught us about the coasting, to eliminate coasting, and that was one of the things I struggled with, because they wanted us to push our limits, and I don't like to wreck. So I did actually wreck a couple of times going into these turns eventually, trying to push myself more, but it really made me a more aggressive rider, and that's something that I really want to take to the road this spring.
So when she talks about coasting, what we're talking about is literally not coasting. You're either on the throttle or you're on the brakes. You're not, there's no off time in between, because that's when you're losing speed and that's when you have the least amount of control of the bike. And I felt like that was something that I got to work on, and that's something I've at least tried to eliminate from my riding in the few months it's been since we've been there. Mm-hmm. All right, so of all the things we did, what was the most fun in your opinion?
I liked the very last drill that we did, where we had to come down the track on that, it was more one of the steeper hills, and then we had to make a hard turn, which I was terrible at. But that's kind of one of the reasons I want to go back, is to nail that turn, because those were the ones I got yelled at a lot on, because I wasn't very good at those.
So for me, it was the free ride time. Like, to me, that was the most fun, to be out there dicing it up with the instructors who were on souped up motorcycles. They were not stock like ours were. And the other students out there. It was a whole lot of fun just to go out there and really test and apply everything you learned earlier in the day. And I noticed how much faster some people got from the time we started on Sunday morning until we ended on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, and it was cool because he was constantly changing the track up. That track was, 8 different tracks that we ended up riding. It changed so many times, which was great.
There were a lot of different configurations. So the big question is, I think you've already kind of answered it. Do you want to go back again?
I do want to go back.
I want to go back again too. We're kind of discussing doing a two-wheeled rider weekend there. I haven't discussed it with Aaron, who runs it, but he will do private events. It basically ends up being the same cost, but we can kind of get the track to ourselves. If it's something you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments section below. Like I said, it's right around $500, but the cool part is, and it'll be cheaper for us when we go back, because it's like half price when you go back the second time. As with all motorcycle skills or any sort of skills like that, they're perishable. So you do need to go back and retrain and rework them, because if you don't use them, they go away. And that's part of the reason I'd like to go back again too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, so you've heard it from us. CornerSpin was a hell of a lot of fun. If you get the opportunity to go, definitely check it out. I'm going to put their links and stuff in the description below.